Round 4. Final.
As we get ready to set off the Formula Femme class and the vintage class, hey, let's talk about one of the riders. Melanie the Amazon McMurtry. Sponsored by St. Ange Recreation, Rock RTs, Dirty Boys Graphics and Wraps, and B&M or Venom Sport Gear. She wants to give a shout out, and this is something some people know. I can't wait to get a chance to see this. The Amazon is also a roller derby queen. She wants to give a shout out to her roller derby team, the Striking Vikings, that won their game last night while she was here at the racetrack. Also a big shout out to her dad. Hey Raymond, glad to have you here. Hope you're enjoying watching the racing. So, coming up now, it is the Accelerated Technologies Formula Femme class and the Vintage class. On the front row, hey, we were just talking about her. On the front row, spectator side, 314 is the Amazon, Melanie McMurtry. Beside her, the 987, the Mighty Mouse herself, Shannon McKay. And on the pole, well, we've got to come up with a nickname for her, 25, Nicole Pilkington. In the second row, it's the number 4, Christine Feldman. The 621, Laura Wilmot, who had a little bit of excitement yesterday, but managed to hang on to it. And beside her, the 525 of Sunny Park. In the final row for the women in the Formula Femme class, it's the 511, Kayla Mills, and the 442 of Wendy Webb. Now we look at the vintage class. On the outside of the first row vintage, row 5 on the field, it is the 123 of Josh Van Alstyne. Beside him, the 489 of Garth Webb, and on the pole, the 22 is Scott Forgy. And that is your grid for Accelerated Technologies Formula Femme and the vintage class. They're off and running right from Buckington with a good start. Melanie McMurtry follows in as Shannon McKay, and third, Christine Feldman. Then Sunny Park and Laura Wilmot, and already Scott Forgy in the vintage class is looking for a way by. Kayla Mills rounds out the field for the women's class, Formula Femme. Oh, I see Wendy Webb, so our vintage class. We only have Scott. Scott Forgy running with the ladies. We've got a drag race, a 2-bike draft, and a braking battle. I can't tell you who's who because it's shining so I can't see the numbers. Having said that, we'll catch them when they come around. And up front it is Nicole Pilkington, but she's being challenged by Shannon McKay, followed by the Amazon Melanie McMurtry. Almost creating an echo there. Scott Forgy running in the middle of the field. Sunny Park in 4th. 5th is Feldman. 6th is Wilmot. There's Josh Van Alstyne. Kayla Mills. And My Little Pony. As they come towards us once again, Pilkington leads. Shannon McKay still looking for a way into terms of her cycle. Melanie McMurtry strongly in third. Then comes Sunny Park. Scott Forgy running the lead in the vintage class. Christine Feldman, followed by Laura Wilmot. That battle in third through first is not going to cool down. Wow, if only I was an announcer and I could talk. What I was trying to say is, first, second, and third are not going to slow down. They're going to fighting it out. And changes on the back straight. Look straight up, you'll see blue sky. That's what that is, that blue color. Sky. And so for the moment, Shannon McKay had a bit of the lead. Nicole Pilkington pushed back. Pilkington back into the lead, continues to lead, but McKay closing. McMurtry having one of the best rides I've seen in a long time. How about that, Raymond? I think we need you to keep coming out to the races. She has fire in her eyes. Over the hump through the S's. Sounds like I'm calling the Teddy Bears game, but it is a motorcycle race. McKay closes up on the back wheel of Pilkington. Again, the front three form up a draft to take off down the back straight. Time round, Shannon try and make it pick up to battle for a third. There is Scott Forgy keeping an eye on what's going on ahead of him, slowly trying to gather up the ground. Forgy on an older 750. The rest of the riders on 600cc machines. Now, of course, Forgy is leading the vintage class. He's still got to contend with working if he catches up. He's got to work his way through the Formula Femme riders. Now as we watch, Nicole Pilkington gathers one or two more bike lengths as they go through the S's. In the braking zone, going onto the back straight. Shannon McKay closes up. Less than a bike length separate them. They get onto the back straight, and it becomes a battle up through the gears. Pilkington's got some power there. In the braking zone for the carousel. A slower rider directly ahead of them. McKay closes slightly. They're heading to the Essex with the slower rider. Pilkington will blast on by. Shannon McKay gets around. The Amazon. And Sunny Park coming up to look to the inside of the Amazon. Still in fourth is Sunny Park, but she's getting racy. They've now put Kayla Mills a lap down. Mills, of course, riding an FZR 400. Battle. The halfway flags are being started. Come to the line. Again, Sunny Park was looking to the outside of Melanie McMurtry, but now they're starting to close up. Four riders getting closer together as the race gets a little bit tighter, a little bit stronger. The heat builds around the top of the racetrack. It is still Nicole Pilkington leading. She is followed by the Mighty Mouse, Shannon McKay, the Amazon, Melanie McMurtry, and Sunny Park. once again. Colt is going into the corner for the last corner before you get on the back straight. Pilkington, that's a good drive, and accelerates away, but this time as they go into the carousel, they're closer than they have been in a while. Possibility, I'm being told here, thank you, Andrew, that there is a change for third place. And it is Sonny Melanie McMurtry back to fourth. But here they have a slower rider. It is Josh Vanelstein, who is running in the vintage class, and they're coming up behind him. Pilkington. Shannon McKay looks for an opportunity. Looks to the inside. Nicole Pilkington, not known for her patience on the racetrack, will push by. But now all four riders in the feminine class. Shannon McKay makes a run. Gets into the lead around Pilkington. Still behind Josh Vanelstein. Goes off onto the grass. He's hanging on to it. But it is Shannon McKay into the lead. And Sonny Parks making a drive, trying to get into second. Shows the wheel to Nicole Pilkington. Pilkington has none of that. Reaches over, hits her close switch, and says, see it. Just opened the throttle. So we're past halfway. What does that mean? Well, one, what a good hot race. Two, amateur superbike by Trackside Cuts, Leather and Vinyl, and Old Boys. Your race is next. And here they come, straight towards us, out of the S's. And Pilkington. Sonny Park looking for an opportunity, but Shannon McKay slammed the door just as much as if it was somebody coming around to sell religion. Around the top of the racetrack, Nicole Pilkington hangs on to the lead. She's going to have to open that throttle a little harder if she's going to shake off Shannon McKay. And Sonny Park has some authority in her throttle hand. Christine Feldman has to save it as she goes long. Wilmot gets her round. And again, Sonny Park making a challenge. At the same time, Shannon McKay is trying as they head onto the back straight. This is where Pilkington is quick. And knows if she's going to make it, they're going to have to be coming through for the flag. This time, Nicole Pilkington has built her lead. Sonny Park looking to the tighter line, but McKay opens the throttle just a little bit deeper into the braking zone, hangs on to that position, keeps the gap between herself and Sonny Park. In the meantime, Scott Corgi is beginning to close. He's racing with the women. Should we call him Scottino? This ain't over. No way. This ain't over at all. Sonny Park looks again at the back wheel of Shannon McKay. She needs to find a way by. Shannon McKay, the diminutive diva, heads into the... What do you think, Glenn? Would that one stick? They're coming towards us at speed. Pilkington with a good lead now, but she's got Kayla Mills directly in front of her. And side by side into one. Sonny Park takes over second place from Shannon McKay. And they're getting a chance to close up. No, the leader gets around Kayla Mills. So to second place. Shannon McKay has to take the short way, but it slows her down. So now the top four racers, and a little bump and grind. McMurtry and Mills touch as they go round out of the corner, and Mills keeping the bike upright, but going for a stroll down memory lane as she heads off into the pavement on the other side of the lawn. Last lap flag being ready to hit the start-finish line. Pilkington leads, but now Sunny Park has the turbo spun up, and she's looking to get closer. Less than a lap to go. Shannon McKay's in third. Fourth is Melanie McMurtry. Scott Forgy just hanging back. He knows he's got lots of space. Doesn't have to get involved in this one. We'll watch now as Sunny Parks tries to chip away that lead over the rise and into the left. Park on the throttle. Gets a drive. She's looking at the outside. Was that door. Door tries to get slammed, but somebody's got a foot in it. Here they go on the back straight for the final time at speed. It is Pilkington leading, followed by Sunny Park. The two of them have gapped the rest of the field. As they come around for the final time, right now it is Pilkington with a strong lead. She's into the dogleg, and it's going to be in the Formula Femme by Accelerated Technologies at the line. It is Nicole Pilkington followed by charging Sunny Park. Third place is Shannon McKay over Melanie McMurtry, and Scott Forgy crosses the line in either sixth place in the Formula Femme or first place in the Vintage. Whichever way there's a trophy, it's going to be Vintage. It's to me that everybody has brought their best game this weekend. There is Laura Wilmot crossing the line, followed by Christine Feldman. And Kayla Mills. Coming up next will be Trackside Cuts, Leather and Vinyl, Amateur Superbike, and the Old Boys Club. We're allowed to call it Old Boys if Jennifer Roth is in the center of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, your Formula Femme, Nicole Pilkington. Scott Forgy opting not to do a victory lap. You're a winner in Vintage, Forgy. That's because he's going right back out onto the racetrack in the Old Boys Club on a different bike.